What's up everyone, my name is Arctix, coming at you with another Midnight Society video. This time we're going to be talking about what we're currently doing, what's led up to this point, and what we can expect from the developers in the next couple of weeks. On December 13th, Dr. Disrespect tweeted out an announcement saying that he had the biggest announcement of his hotshot gaming career, along with a QR code that would point everybody to the Discord server for Midnight Society. We all piled in there trying to theorize what was going on, what was happening. We knew that the Midnight Society was the new studio that he had founded with 402 and D's, aka Rob Bowling and Quinn Hoyo, but we didn't know what the purpose of us all being in this Discord server was. It wasn't until January 1st that Midnight Society tweeted out an animated picture with a variant that had an Easter egg in its visor cortex, aka the animated helmet. Members of the Discord were able to decipher the Easter egg, which pointed everybody to an ARG that they had created. This ARG was in the form of a Discord bot that was custom programmed to provide a text narrative that gave players the opportunity to choose what reaction that they wanted to have to the block of text, and depending on the reaction, you'd either survive or you would die. You'd also be able to create a loadout. You also were able to type different commands. The ARG itself was known as like the M:, kind of like the command prompt on C. And members of the Discord were with no instructions whatsoever, other than the Easter egg we had from the January 1st post. We're trying to figure out which commands worked and which didn't. It wasn't until members of the Discord in Midnight Society banded together to create this beautiful Google document that had all kinds of details on like the different code deciphers, on what each lines of code worked with the bot. And even one of our members took all that information, developed this amazing website in like a timeline format that provided information to other users who were interested in participating in this ARG. And we ultimately found out that they had initially 7 sectors for us to go through. It ended up being 6 at the end of the day, and they released each of these sectors at midnight Pacific Standard Time, as the name Midnight Society suggests. And we would get together, wait until midnight, go through these different sectors, and about a little over halfway through, they even took a 2-week break to really program the bot, giving us all kinds of intricate choices, where the bot went from 15,000 lines of code to over 150,000 lines of code just to deliver this story-driven multiple choice narrative ARG for us to participate in. And at the time, we had no idea what we got for participating in this ARG. Now, at the end of the ARG, we found out that we were given an airdrop. The first 500 members to complete this ARG were given an airdrop, and it started from 0, so it goes up to 501. But we had no idea what this was. We were theorizing, is it merch? Is it something in game? Nobody had any clue what this meant, and we found out what the airdrop meant a little later down the line, and we'll get into that later in the video. But for now, we completed this ARG. Nobody really knew what it was. We all had airdrop numbers. We had pre-variant numbers basically given to us by the ARG bot. And that's all we really knew. We kind of just stayed on standby, not knowing what the next step was. Members of the community even also banded together to try and help more and more people claim these airdrops as fast as possible. So it's an important note, because when I get into what the airdrops are, you'll understand. But at the time, they weren't all claimed. We were trying to get more and more people involved to claim these airdrops because we didn't know what they were. And we wanted to get as many of them claimed. We thought initially that by claiming the 500, something else would be triggered. We really didn't know what was going on. We just knew that the ARG had been completed. We were trying to get everybody through, trying to get everybody to claim these airdrops. And again, we thought maybe if all the airdrops are claimed, it would trigger the next event. At this time, we really didn't know what was going on. Things started to kind of get a little bit slow in the Discord, where we were all just hanging out, waiting for the next event, waiting for the next announcement. This was around the time we started seeing glitches happening on Dr. Disrespect's stream, where a voice would come through, or you would see different glitch effects happen throughout the broadcast, like something was taking over Dr. Disrespect's stream. We didn't know what to expect, and even in those little glitches, we started to break them down, try to decipher them. They didn't really lead to anything, relevant in regards to an ARG. We did confirm that the ARG itself was done. All we had was that these glitches kept happening, and eventually those glitches led to a specific date. a date where something would be revealed on Dr. Disrespect's stream. That date was on March 15th, where something would be revealed, something big from Midnight Society would be revealed on Dr. Disrespect's stream. But in typical fashion, because we were used to this from the ARG, a lot of us hung out in the Discord waiting for midnight on the 15th to see if something happened. And something did happen. Their entire website updated, this time with an amazing intro video with some of the members that completed the ARG, yours truly included, of course. And it also allowed folks to use their Discord or their Twitch or other various forms of authentication to basically create an account on the Midnight Society website. And as you would add different forms of authentication, like your Discord name, your Twitch, you could link your Facebook, you could link your Battle.net, you could link your Riot Games. As you would add each one of these, an XP bar would start to fill. The bar itself would only go up to 95. The reason why it only went up to 95 is because they had taken out a field where you could add your Nintendo account last minute. That Nintendo account was worth 5 XP as well. So you would have been able to have 100, but if you happen to fill out an application or create an account and you got to 95, you're basically at 100%. The 95 is the most that you can get in that XP bar. After you added those things, you were provided a questionnaire. We found out later that this questionnaire is basically designed to find out what type of gamer are you, like what type of person in the games industry are you? Are you a content creator? Are you an influencer? Are you a journalist? Are you a hardcore gamer? Are you a casual gamer? Like the questionnaire itself is going to eventually help them filter out who is actually filling out an application. What type of gamer are you? Which brings me to, what is the airdrop and what is this whole thing for? When Dr. Disrespect originally announced that he was going to create a AAA development studio, he mentioned that he wanted something different. He didn't want the same traditional story where a AAA studio would create a game, they would announce it to everybody, disappear for a couple of years, come back with the product and just shove it down your throat. And as a gamer or consumer, you had to take the product as is. Whether it was something that you wanted, whether it's something that the community itself wanted or not, Dr. Disrespect clearly started from the very beginning. He stated that he didn't want that type of design studio. He wanted something different, which brings me to, what is Midnight Society today? Midnight Society, and I want to be really clear on this because this part seems to be lost in translation with everybody out there when they look at what's actually happening at Midnight Society. Midnight Society is trying to change the way AAA games are developed. And the way that they're trying to change the way AAA games are developed are by having what they call a Day Zero community. The Day Zero community is what you're applying for on their website. When you filled out all of the questions, when you added all your socials, the 10,000 that they select from the website are going to be what they call the Day Zero community. And it's important to note that this Day Zero community are all going to be Founders Access Pass holders. That's right, in order to be part of the Day Zero community, if selected, you would have to purchase the $50 Founders Access Pass, or you would be an airdrop holder, in which case you would just claim your airdrop and you would get your Founders Pass. And they want the Day Zero community to be involved with them, hand in hand, full transparency, as they develop the game that they plan to introduce to the world. This is where the whole NFT thing comes in. If you're a Founders Pass holder, you would get a profile picture, or PFP, of a procedurally generated variant, which is what you've been seeing all over Twitter, that's going to have different attributes and different characteristics. This particular PFP is only going to be given to the Founders Pass holders or the Day Zero community. Now, the only thing that we know so far about this game is that it's called Project Moon and that it's an FPS PvP competitive shooter. That's all we know. A lot of people keep asking, but there's no game. Where's the game? How can you ask people to apply for something when there's no game? I want to go back to this and reiterate, because the answer to that question is because they're trying to change the way that AAA games are traditionally developed. Instead of disappearing, they want their Day Zero community involved from the very inception of the project to make decisions and to weigh in on design decisions so that they can influence the way the game ultimately is developed, so that this game is exactly what those 10,000 want or vote on or are part of making. And remember, the 10,000 are what they call the Day Zero community. and it's going to have representation from all over the games industry to be part of this project from its inception. So as the project develops and as the game itself develops, the 10,000 are going to be able to weigh in, and ultimately we're going to get a product that for the first time ever reflects what players actually want. And this is an extremely ambitious approach. Nobody's ever done something quite like this to the level of transparency that they're planning on offering for Midnight Society. I know a lot of people say, well, developers, they're not going to let you actually do that. But I can tell you, after attending the first AMA and seeing how basically the blueprint of how they want to do things moving forward once the 10,000 are selected, it's extremely transparent. There's long-winded answers. You have direct access to the developers, direct access to the studio heads. You're able to actually get your questions answered or weigh decisions in. Now, I'm sure as this starts to evolve, there's going to be a more clean process so that the 10,000 have, you know, a direct way of weighing in and working together. But this is the first time a AAA development studio has ever done something like this. This brings me to, what are the airdrops? There seems to be a lot of confusion on what are the airdrops, what do you get if you're one of the airdrop holders, and I'll explain. Back when we talked about the ARG, we mentioned that once you completed the ARG, if you were one of the first 501 people to complete the ARG, because it started from 0, you were given an airdrop. And it would say, you know, you are 0 of 500, you were 1 of 500, and so on and so forth until all 500 were claimed. What this airdrop is was explained by the studio head himself, 402, Rob Bowling, in the chat when the website launched. If you have an airdrop holder is basically a guaranteed acceptance into the Day Zero community. So while they're accepting 10,000 applicants through their website, if you're one of the 501 airdrop holders, you are guaranteed in no matter what. You don't have to pay for a founder's pass. You are in no matter what. Your airdrop is a pass that lets you get into the Day Zero community. So if you were one of the first 501 folks to complete the ARG, you are guaranteed part of this Day Zero community. So when they go through and filter out these applications, they're only going to be going through 9,499 because, again, the first 501 folks to have completed the ARG have an airdrop and were given an airdrop which guarantees you access. That makes the 9,499 applicants very unique, and that means that it's not going to be just anybody who applied onto their website. It's worth noting that when the website initially launched, they had an 8-day timer, an actual timer that ticked down on their website where you could apply. And initially, nobody knew how many people were applying on the website. And after the countdown was finished, the studio itself announced that there was over 400,000 applications to be part of this amazing new project, to be part of the Day Zero community for this amazing new project. So of those 400,000 plus, 9,499 will be selected in conjunction with the airdrop holders. And once everybody is selected, you'll be given an email, and inside the email will have a link where you can purchase your founder's pass for $50. Now, if you're an airdrop holder, you'll still get an email and you'll get it at the same time, only you won't have to pay for the founder's pass. Now, if you happen to be selected and you get an email and you don't respond, or let's say for whatever reason you procrastinate, then it'll go on to the next person. And this includes the airdrop holders as well. So if you happen to have gotten an airdrop, you completed the ARG, you were awarded one of the 501 airdrops, and you get an email, and inside the email has a confirmation for you to claim your founder's pass. If you don't respond to that within a certain time period, and that time period is currently to be determined, if you don't respond, you lose your airdrop, and it'll go on to the next person as determined by the algorithm or them manually vetting. This brings me to where we are at right now. Currently, everyone is just kind of waiting. They had over 400,000 applications. The applications themselves closed on the 23rd of March at midnight, and they reported that they had over 400,000 of them, which is incredible. It's an incredible turnout. But as of right now, we're just waiting for them to go through the algorithm, for them to manually vet. And of that, total of 10,000, they do want a combination of industry vets. They want journalists. They want beta testers, hardcore gamers, casual gamers. So it's going to take some time for them to go through that. and currently they estimate the mid-April for them to come out with who's accepted and who isn't. So that's currently the ETA on when we should expect some kind of announcement of when people are accepted into the Founders Access Program or Day Zero community. Something else to touch on is on Twitter, you may see quite a few different individuals saying that they're part of the existence, welcome to the existence, accessing variant. They're showing off their variant, which is the procedurally generated NFT that the company is providing. You may see a couple of those on Twitter. Currently, those have been given out to some of the very earliest Day Zero community members, and these are only previews. These aren't actually the NFTs. These aren't actually the actual profile pictures with attributes. These are just previews, and they're given to the earliest members of the Day Zero community and to staff at Midnight Society, outside of Dr. Disrespect himself and some members of Boom TV, who of course is in partnership with Midnight Society. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just waiting for them to go through the 400,000 plus applications and let everybody know via email when we can purchase our Founders Pass, or if you're an airdrop holder, where you can claim your airdrop pass. That's pretty much it. I mean, this is what's happened so far, what's led up to this event, where we're at now, and kind of what we're waiting on. Me personally, taking all this, I do want to say I was an NFT skeptic. I still am an NFT skeptic. I hear that, and I usually don't like any projects that are associated with that. But I sat down. I've been part of this community early on, being a member of the Champions Club, being a partnered streamer myself on twitch.tv. Like, you know, I have the same apprehension most people do, but I sat around, I educated myself on what's happening here. I'm very passionate about games and gaming in general, so I like what they're doing. I love the approach that's happening here. I like the transparency, the involvement between the developers and the community itself. I like what we're doing. We all hang out here in the Day Zero community pretty much every day in the voice chat, but that's kind of the vibe that's here. And you have various creators, you have various people in journalism, various people that are just looking for games, all hanging out, networking with each other, building a community, and being part of what could be pivotal and game changing for the entire industry as a whole. And I'm excited to be part of it. You know, like I said, I was a skeptic, and after listening and seeing how things are, I'm excited. I'm excited to be part of it. What's happening here could be pivotal for the rest of the development of AAA games. Well, depending on how this works and how this goes through, this could be a game changer, and I'm so happy to be on board. The team itself is incredible, the community itself is incredible, and I'm just looking forward to the future. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you guys like the video, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It's a non-monetary way that you can help support things. Remember guys, I stream on twitch.tv/Arctix pretty much every single day, so head on over there, toss me a follow if you can, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of each other and stay frosty.